is coming up this weekend. I know we have a huge Arsenal fan in the studio. He's wearing Arsenal jersey, and Arsenal will be squaring up with the PSG tomorrow in the Champions League final. A whole lot of people are expecting that PSG will win because of the bragging rights, but a whole lot of people feel Arsenal stand a chance. And to top it all, Thierry Henry will be the one presenting the UCL champion, the UCL Cup in that particular final. How interesting will it be if Arsenal ends up winning? But guys, what are you expecting in that particular game? I will start with Solomon, the huge Arsenal fan. What are you expecting in that particular game?
Okay. To be honest, yeah, I think that I've been quite a bit relaxed about the match. I've been asking myself why.
Why you
I think
relax?
that maybe when I get to the viewing center tomorrow, I'll now begin to feel the jitters or whatnot. I think that the celebration that we have had for the EPL actually, is still I don't know, still a bit overwhelming. But then again, in terms of the match, I wouldn't say that I know exactly what to expect. But what I know is if Arsenal should score first, ha, it's going to be difficult to. If Arsenal should score first, I think that we would stand a big chance of of winning that match. And I genuinely think that we will win the match. We will win the match. And I'm saying this because the last time we met PSG, you can tell that we were not with our full squad. We had a midfielder who was playing a false nine. We had a Lewis Kelly in left back. We had Kivio. I mean, come on now.
Jacob
We had
Kivio.
Kivio as centre back. Yeah, right. Do you understand? So, that notwithstanding, we have a full squad, right? Everyone is fit. Thankfully, Timber is also back. I'm not sure if he's going to start, but Timber is back. Merino is also back. Havertz, everyone is fit and ready to play the final. Okay, well, of course, except Ben White. But then again, I genuinely think that Arsenal has what it takes to be able to win. I think that we just have to try as much as possible to nullify PSG's attack. And PSG's attack, especially Kvaratskhelia and Dembele. Now, Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, because Dembele is not someone that stays in one position. Dembele is able to he can play as a false nine. He can play either right or left wing. Do you understand? So the way he switches can be difficult to man mark. And then Kvaratskhelia is just Kvaratskhelia. He can dribble. We know that so well. Kvaratskhelia is one of the finest dribblers right now in Europe, right? So if we are able to nullify PSG's attack, which I believe we can do, right? I think that it will be easier going forward to be able to, break down their defense in terms of Marquinhos, Pacho, Nuno Mendes, and Hakimi. I think that we can be able to do that. So I would not expect a free flowing first leg Bayern Munich PSG type of match. I do not think I would expect. I don't think I expect that. I personally do not expect a free flowing. I think that we'll just try as much as possible to see that both teams will not try to concede. They'll be careful with each other and try as much as possible to ensure that they scored the first goal and afterwards just try as much as possible to defend so well. So a most likely second leg PSG Bayern Munich match. Most likely a second leg PSG Bayern Munich match where PSG will try to show that okay, we are not just about scoring, we are also about defending. Okay, and obviously Arsenal too. We know very well how well Arsenal's defense is. Most clean sheets in Europe, considered the least goals, and so yeah, as I said, a second leg PSG Bayern Munich type of match is what I personally would expect, and eventually I believe that Arsenal will win the match.
Interesting. Temiloluwa, I know you are a huge Chelsea fan, and a lot of Chelsea fans have been saying they don't want Arsenal to win because of because of the noise, because of the banter, because some of them are even comparing Saka and the rest of them to the likes of Iniesta, Messi, and the likes of that. I don't know, maybe that's true. I don't agree with that, but but you as a fan and even as a Chelsea fan, what are you expecting in that particular game tomorrow?
It's an open game, you understand, an interesting one of I think Arsenal, like Solomon said, Arsenal are calm. You understand? And why are they calm? Because they've won the league. You understand? So even losing the Champions League, they still know that the most important one for Arsenal this season was the Premier League. And let's be honest with ourselves, if they had bottled that, I don't think they'll be able to sleep well in the night. You understand? So I think winning the Premier League gives them this kind of calm that okay, you know what, we can go against PSG, but even if we lose, it is all fine. You understand? We've gotten the Premier League. And one thing that Mr. Solomon also said for Paris Saint-Germain is massive. Understand? But people fail to pay attention to PSG's midfield. The midfield of Paris
Hmm.
Saint-Germain is where the magic starts from, not the front. The midfield is where the magic starts from. So because teams fail to pay attention to that midfield, you understand? That is why they get beaten. Remember this season, João Neves has scored an hat-trick. He scored an hat-trick in a match. I think PSG won 6-1 and he scored an hat-trick. So imagine a defensive midfielder scoring a hat-trick in a match. You understand? So the threat is all over the pitch. It's not just the attack. You have an Hakimi that is a goal scorer. You understand? You have Nuno Mendes. It is everything. You understand? But I think where Arsenal should pay attention the most is the midfield because PSG will definitely want to get that midfield. PSG have runners. You understand? So the moment you allow them to click into that midfield, you understand, just one through ball, one no ball, you might think the offside trap catches, it doesn't catch, VAR checks, and it is a goal. You understand? And also Arsenal should also be very, very careful because they'll be nervous. The Arsenal players will be nervous, and when you have somebody like Skrevashilia running at you, there are a whole lot of things going through your head. So Arsenal should be very wary, you understand, of not giving out a penalty because I think I see a penalty in that game. You understand? Whereby I think I just see a penalty in that game. I don't know. I see a penalty in that game for Paris Saint-Germain. It's going to be an open game. Arsenal's attack is not necessarily a scary one. You understand? But then you never can say it is a game of
Hmm.
football. But I think when PSG are coming to this final as reigning champion, I think
Hmm.
that one on its own tells us a lot that we are to expect. And we've seen the case for Real Madrid when they came back as reigning champions. Again, so there's always this aura that goes with the reigning champions, and I think the game is an open one, you understand, but I'm leaning towards PSG because they are the reigning champions. It's not easy getting to the Champions League final back to back. You understand? I'm still retaining the core set of players, and but the midfield is where Arsenal should be very, very wary about. I don't even want to see Odegaard starting that game. I don't know. I don't want to see Odegaard starting that because I just feel he's just not going to help Arsenal. So I think probably maybe something like Eze can start, you understand, ahead of Odegaard because Odegaard will just kill the game. But aside that, Arsenal has a very good, but it's a midfield battle, a midfield game. I don't really see it as an attacking game because I feel Guardiola, I feel Pep Arteta will not want to come out fully. You understand? And even PSG will be wary of coming out fully. So the magic will be done in the midfield. You understand? So I think I see an offside trap. You understand? I see PSG trying to play offside trap against Arsenal. You understand? Trying to throw those long balls to try to see if they can beat Saliba and Gabriel off. You understand? And then something like that. So that's just that on that. But I see PSG winning the game. You understand? And I think it's going to be an interesting one, contrary to Solomon saying it's not really going to be a boring one. It will be an interesting one. Maybe because I'm not a fan of either of both club. You understand? So maybe that way, but
Don't get me
it's
wrong.
going to be
Don't
an
get me
interesting
wrong.
game, and
Don't
I
get me
think
wrong.
PSG are going to win it.
Yeah, someone you
I
want to
mean,
say
of
something?
course, it will be interesting. Yeah, of course, it will be interesting. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it will be interesting. I'm just saying that we would not see the 5-4, many goals type of match. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand? Of course, it's going to be interesting. But just as you said that it's open and both teams will be careful. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. Both teams will be careful. Because now you know that this is not a match that has a second leg. If you concede, you know that it's going to be difficult to want to get back into the match, considering, for
That's it.
instance, now, for instance, now, if PSG concedes, you know exactly what is going to happen to Arsenal's defense. You know what Arsenal can do. They don't call them, they don't call us the Aram. for no reason. Do you understand? You know what they can do? PSG also showed how well they can defend against that they can defend against Bayern in the second leg. Do you understand? So if PSG scores, PSG can also PSG can also defend rather. That's what I'm saying. Both will be careful as to try not to concede first off. And that is exactly why, as you said, the midfield is now going to be the decider. And of course, not taking away anything from PSG's, the flanks. Hakimi can run along with Douye. Nuno Mendes can even get into the box. Nuno Mendes can get into the box, right? So, but if Saka is able to nullify Nuno Mendes, then I see Fabian Rui trying to do what he did with Olise in the last match with Bayern Munich, coming to help out Nuno Mendes in the back line. So I think both coaches have their work cut out for them, right? And still, me, I'm still going with Arsenal to win. Arsenal will win the match. It's no, we'll be here next week again by God's grace.
Obviously, as we round up now, we only have about 1 minute. As we round up, Temiloluwa, what's your prediction? The scoreline prediction. Yeah, Temiloluwa, are you there?
3-1 PSG.
3-1 PSG. Okay. Solomon.
Yes. I said 3-1 PSG.
Yeah.
3-1 or 1-0.
Yeah, Solomon.
You don't even give us chance.
What's your prediction, Solomon? Wow. What's your prediction?
You scored 1 now. I said 3-1 now.
3 goals against Arsenal. 3.
It's a possibility.
Hey, 1-0 to Arsenal. 1-0 to Arsenal.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. On Monday, when we discuss this on Monday, probably maybe Solomon might be right, Temiloluwa might be right. Any of you that is right, you have a prize from me. If it is 1-0 in favor of Arsenal, Solomon, you are getting something from me. If it is 3-1 for PSG, Temiloluwa, you are getting something from me.
Everybody that wins.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining. It's always amazing to chat with you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. And I hope by Monday, maybe you have double champion in front of your name, Solomon, or maybe Temiloluwa and Collins will be able to troll you. Thank you guys for joining. Have a wonderful Friday ahead of you. Thank you.